just a girl. I just want to read. This book destroyed me. Feels very much like an abusive relationship. Hello, book besties. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Delaney if you are new here, and we are back with another reading vlog, and in this one we are choosing pain. In this vlog I'm going to be reading books specifically that I think are going to make me cry, books that I've been told are incredibly sad and that I need to have the tissues prepared for, and I'm excited and a little bit terrified too. I know some of these books, just by reading the blurbs and like knowing what they're about, they're going to absolutely destroy my heart. Specifically the first one that we're going to read, I already know I teared up a little bit reading the blurb of it. Yeah, it's going to be a tough week. But before we jump into the actual books that we're going to be reading together, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Pair Eyewear. I am wearing their glasses right now, and I wear them every single day of my life because I adore Pair Eyewear. Pair Eyewear is redefining eyewear. They offer high quality, customizable blue light and prescription glasses. I love my Pair Eyewear so much. I have actually two separate pairs and a bunch of different top frames, and I'm obsessed with them. So with Pair Eyewear, you choose a base frame, the style and the color that you want, and then you also get top frames. And this is where it gets incredibly exciting because I can switch up my look in actual seconds. The glasses that I'm wearing here are the Murphy glasses. I got them in tortoise, and then I have burgundy top frames, black top frames, and navy top frames. I am a neutrals gal, and I also really wanted some fun fall colors, so I feel like these are going to be perfect for any fall outfit. I can kind of adapt my glasses to fit my look for the day. Pair Eyewear makes it super easy to shop for a style that you are confident you're going to love, because on their website they have a virtual try-on option, so you can actually see all the different styles of frames on your face. I spend way too much time on here just trying on all the styles and trying to make up my mind of what I wanted. I already have a pair of the Kirby that I've been wearing for about a year, and I wanted something a little bit more bold, so I went for the Murphy style this time in the tortoise color. Pair Eyewear is also super affordable, high quality, and totally customizable. You just have to get one pair of base frames and you can get a bunch of different top frames, and it's like you have a ton of different pairs of glasses, but really you only have one. They are cute, they are functional. I love the blue light option because I am always on a screen of some sort, either filming TikToks or editing YouTube videos or doing something with blue light. So I love my blue light glasses from Pair Eyewear, and they were kind enough to offer you guys 15% off using the code that is linked down below. So thank you so much to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to check out Pair Eyewear down below and get 15% off using my link. All right, now it's time to talk about the first book that we're going to be reading in this emotional reading vlog, and that is The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I have heard nothing but sad things about this book, and also phenomenal things. So many people have been on me to read this book. Whenever I put out a request for like 5-star reads, emotional reads, reads that I'm never going to be able to stop thinking about, this is one of the top recommended for just about anything that I ask for. I'm scared and also really excited. This is a military romance, I believe. Just the first line of the back, it's like a letter format, kind of like the blurb is written like a letter, and it just says, Beckett, if you're reading this, well, you know the last letter drill. You made it, I didn't. You're joking me. If there's one thing that will make me cry every single time, well, two things. Dogs being returned to their owners, I'm a mess, and anything military related. If I see someone coming home from the military returning to their family, like I'm gonna cry talking about it. Like I will cry. I end up on that side of TikTok way too often, and I'll just be laying in bed like tears streaming down my face. So this book is going to make me cry. I feel relatively confident in that, but I guess we shall see. Watch it not, now that I'm talking about it, like for sure it's going to make me cry. Watch it like absolutely do nothing for me. No, it's gonna be good. I trust you guys. You guys have been telling me for probably close to a year now that I need to read this book, and it's been sitting on my shelf collecting dust, but it is time. We are doing it. I wanted to introduce this video and get us started so we can start reading, and I'm going to go dive into this probably later today, and I will circle back to you when I have an update. Hello. So update on The Last Letter. This is gut-wrenching, like absolutely gut-wrenching. I'm only 56 pages into the book and I've already cried. I was in bed last night and I was like, I gotta let the besties know that I'm actually like in tears right now, but I was too into it. I'm gonna say the page, and if you've read this book, you know. Yeah, page 38. Page 38. And we already have a death. And like, I knew it was coming just from the blurb. Like I knew that this was going to happen. Well, I didn't expect it to happen so soon. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. And I didn't know the the cancer aspect of this book. So I was gonna say this, I didn't even know this was a thing going into it until I read the dedication of this book, and I was like, oh gosh, this might even be more emotional than I thought. So essentially Ella, our female main character, is a single mom to 2 twins. They are 5-year-old twins, and her daughter is diagnosed with a very aggressive form of cancer and is given a 10% chance to make it through the year. Hello, are you joking me? I thought this was just like a military romance. Like, I thought there was only one emotional aspect, and now you're giving me a sweet 5-year-old girl that has a 10% chance of living. Yeah, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? This book, it's gonna destroy me. It's gonna destroy me. I'm like, what, 10% in? And I'm already in it. I'm invested. I did not want to put this down. I had to force myself to go to bed last night because I had an early wake up call this morning, but I did not want to stop reading. I'm already so invested in this book. It's incredible. It's really incredible. I was craving an emotional standalone. I'm in the middle of Boys of Tommen series, which is like emotional, but the books are so long and the series is so long. I was like, I want a standalone that is gonna be really good and like make me feel the feelings and potentially be a 5-star standalone. And I'm not gonna say it yet, but I think potentially we could get there. So no huge updates in terms of progress. Like I said, I'm only like 50 something pages into this book, but update that I have in fact already cried. So checkmate successfully has already made me cry. Yeah, this book, dang. All right, but I have to get back to my workday. I have client calls, I have videos to edit, I have emails to do. I have a lot that I need to do, and I just want to read my book. I'm just a girl. I just want to read. It's hard. It's really hard. It's tough. But that's the mini update as of now. I will talk to you when I hopefully have more time to read this later and I get further through. I feel like this is going to be a book that I read pretty quickly. It's a longer book. It's like 450-ish pages. I have a feeling it's going to be a quick one though. Okay, I'll stop rambling. I need to get back to work. I'll update you soon though. I just sobbed my eyes out for like 15 minutes. 5 stars. 5 freaking stars. Perfection. And I don't know if I've ever been that emotionally impacted by a standalone book. It's very rare. Like The Nightingale, the amount of tears that I shed over this book and over characters and humans that don't even exist in real life, they feel so real to me. Oh, the entire book was heavy. The whole book was sad, and I thought I knew what we were getting set up for. Like, I thought I was emotionally preparing and it was still going to be tragic, and I knew I was still going to be sad. And then it just came out of left field, and like, what? Why would you do me like that? Why? This sums it up. I've just been sitting here with my hood on, crying on the floor. It's a Sunday evening and I cannot get up and do anything because this book Wow, you guys were not kidding when you said that was a book that was going to destroy me. It did. It sure did. I feel like I'm useless right now trying to talk about this book. I'm still processing. That was phenomenal. Beckett is like my top new book boyfriend. Like currently wow, he's everything. Ella's phenomenal. The kids in this book, like all the characters in this book, incredible. Incredible. And the dog in this book, I love. Wow, the entire book. Emotional from start to finish. I was invested, I was captivated. I feel like I know these characters like their family. That really got me. That really got me. I thought I was going to be stronger than the book. I was like, I'm not going to cry. It's not going to get me. I know what's going to happen. No, it sure got me. 5 stars. Easy 5 stars. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't even know what else to say. I have nothing else to say. Like truly speechless. Maybe tomorrow when I update, I will have something else to say. But as of now, I need to just go like continue to sit and stew and process this, because what in the world? Okay guys, so it's been not a full day, but I was able to like sleep on it. It's a fresh day. It's a new day. And I still absolutely cannot stop thinking about the last letter. I was just taking a shower and I was like thinking about these characters. Like this book destroyed me. Like this is going to stick with me. I feel like I will never forget this book. I will never forget the characters. A clear sign of a 5-star read. It was just everything I wanted and then some. Like this book was one that was like really, really hyped for me. And so I was nervous going into it because everyone has been like in my Patreon, on TikTok, all the things telling me to read this. Like this is one of my 5-star reads. This book will make you cry. This book will destroy you. This book will stick with you for life. And I was like, okay, like yes, I hear you. I get it. I'm adding it to my TBR. But I was nervous when a book receives that much hype. Sometimes it falls flat when you actually read it. It like exceeded my expectations. I loved it. I really, really loved it. That is my entire review. It's just so emotional. The kids and the family dynamics and the military aspect, and it's everything. It's everything. It was so good. So moral of the story, I highly recommend reading this, but I have another update. I have decided the next book that we're going to be reading that I think will most likely make me cry, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have been wanting to read this book for probably about 2 years now. I used to wander the aisles of Target in the book section and be like, dang, that's a beautiful book. Cause like it's stunning. Like look at the gold like detail. It's just a pretty book. And then I would open it and I was like, that's a lot of words. Like the font is small, the pages are large, it is a thick book. Like I was very intimidated. And then I would read the back and it says France 1714 on the back. Like reading a book in the 1700s, I was like, nah, I gotta tap out. Like my brain can't handle that. But a lot of you guys have been like, that's an amazing book, or that book really fell flat for me and I couldn't get through it. There's like a huge divide when I ask about this book. Some people are like, 6-star read, made me bawl my eyes out, I'll never stop thinking about it. And other people are like, I DNF that. So I am curious. I'm very, very curious to see which side of the spectrum I will land on. So I'm actually buddy reading this with 2 wonderful ladies from my Patreon book club. So Kayla and Lauren, I love you guys and I appreciate our little group chat. Even though you are reading circles around me so far, Kayla this morning is like, I'm 25% done. And I think I'm like 5% into it. I was like, girl, she's like, I think you could surpass me at any point. I'm like, I don't think I'm ever catching up to you. But go off, queen, like you got it. But it is really nice to be reading this with someone else and having like that community aspect. This was one of the options to read in November for my Patreon book club and it didn't win. So we decided to buddy read it separately and I'm really excited. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I'm really not very far in. I'm only on chapter 7, which is page 38. So I will say chapters are very, very short. Some of them are only like a page or 2, which is nice. So I am in the middle of this. That's kind of my other major update, but don't have a ton to say yet. It's just kind of getting started. Basically, the premise of this, from what I'm getting so far, is we have Addie LaRue, who was born in the 1600s, I believe, and somehow, somewhere, she like made herself immortal, kind of. But the thing is, no one can remember her. Like, there's a scene, I think it's the second chapter of the book, where she walks into a dressing room, tries on all the clothes, rips the tag off of them, walks out of the dressing room, and the person working there is like, whoa, I didn't remember like putting someone in that dressing room. And she just leaves the store. And like, cause they couldn't remember her, she like, they didn't even know. You know what I mean? She'll go on dates and she'll wake up the next morning and the guy she's sleeping next to like has no idea who she is. It's sad. It's really, really sad. Like she has no connection because she can't even like share her name with people. Like no one can remember Addie LaRue. So we have like past and present timeline, 1600s, 1700s, and then 2014. Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I think I'm following. I think I'm understanding. My dog's gonna start yelling something. Maybe I'm getting a package. That would be exciting. So that is the update. As of now, I will wrap it up here because my dog is going to keep barking because I just got a package delivered and she's not happy about it. So that is where we're at. I will update when I have further updates. Okay, time for a quick update. I just hopped off my live Patreon video call for the month of October, which was so much freaking fun. I don't think I've laughed that hard in so long. Like that call was just everything. I love my entire Patreon. I love the live chats and the live video calls. Like being on a Zoom meeting and seeing everyone's face, it's the best thing ever. I love it so much. It just made my entire day. But I am tired, I'm ready to shower, and I'm ready to eat some dinner, but I wanted to quickly update on my progress reading Addie LaRue. Speaking of the Patreon, I'm actually buddy reading with two of my close friends from the Patreon group. I love them so much. Don't let it go to your head, ladies, but I am reading with them and I'm having the best time. Our group chat is just so much fun. It's so funny. Their sense of humors and like all our personalities, I think just like mesh really well. Having a great time reading with them. But anyways, the book in general, I'm enjoying a lot more than I thought I would, but I'm reading at a pace that is a lot slower than I normally do. I think it's been 4 days since I started this book and I'm like only on page 160. I'm reading quite slow for me. And that's because, well, partially because my life has been really chaotic. A whole thing is going on. But also because this book requires a certain level of like mental energy and focus. It's not a book I can like pop the audiobook on and like do something. Like if I lose focus for 2 seconds, I'm lost. Like I need to know details. I need to follow very closely. And it just takes a lot of energy to read. Not a bad thing, but it's taking me longer to read it because I'm really having to be in the right headspace and I'm also rereading a lot. So essentially this is about Addie LaRue who ends up making a wish in the 1700s where she makes a deal basically that she can live forever. Like she's not running out of time, but the dark side of that wish that she doesn't know what she's getting into is like no one can remember her. And then one day, this is not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book, she enters a bookshop and she goes to steal a book because she's so easily forgotten. She can like get away with stealing things because people don't even remember that she entered their store to begin with. She goes to take a book and the man working chases after her and he's like, I just saw you. Like, I remember seeing you in my store. And she's like, whoa, you remember me? Like for the first time ever, she's remembered by somebody. And that's happening in present day. So 2014, that's kind of where I'm at right now. She's just kind of like exploring a friendship with him. And it's very unique to her because she's never been remembered before. It's very deep, lots of themes about womanhood and like the pressure of womanhood, like you must marry, you must settle down, you must produce babies, or basically like you're worthless. This desire for more, like this itchy feeling that there's more to life and she wants more for her life. There's so many themes about like loneliness and what it means to like live a fulfilling life or a life of purpose. There's a lot. There's so much. And it's really beautiful so far. So it's taking a lot of energy, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's just like I'm getting a little fatigued, but I'm also enjoying it, if that makes sense. That's basically the update as of now. Like I said, not super far. I'm just about to start part 3. So I'm going to probably read some of this tonight as I'm eating dinner and maybe after dinner. I'll cozy in. I also have it on my Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited, which is really, really nice. I have the audiobook, the physical book, and the Kindle in rotation right now. doing anything I can to get little scraps of this book in whenever I'm in the headspace for it, because it's a slower read for me, for sure. The update as of now, I'm having a good time. I don't really have a rating prediction. I'm not feeling like I want to cry reading this book. It's definitely emotional at times, like I was saying, her feeling like she doesn't have any relationships and just living such a sad life. Like she doesn't have a home, she doesn't have anything because no one, like she can't really do anything in life because she's not able to be remembered. So those elements are definitely emotional, but not to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, this book's going to make me cry right now. But we have a long ways to go. There's definitely potential, and I'm feeling connected to the characters. So there's definitely the potential for it to be a tearjerker. But that's the update. I am going to go shower, get cozy, have some dinner, relax, hopefully read some of this tonight. I might also watch Dancing with the Stars. I just don't know. We'll see where the night takes me, but I will for sure update you when I've made progress and I have some more to say about beautiful Addie LaRue. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Guys, I am reading Addie LaRue as we speak. I'm on part 5, chapter 11, I think. I'm on page 342, so I'm getting close. This book, now that I'm into it, like I am into it. It took me a while to like understand, honestly, just the concept and like the characters, and like there's a little bit of world building because there are like fantasy elements to this, and I think it took me a little bit just to like grasp what even like this world was, like what was going on. But this, whatever genre of fantasy that this is, I can do it. Like this is a fantasy I can get behind. It's like real world with like touches of like spiritual fantasy. I don't know. There has to be like a subgenre of fantasy that describes this, but I'm not well versed enough in the fantasy world to like know all the genres. I don't like fantasy that's like combat and war and dragons and fairies. Like that's a little bit harder for me to like wrap my head around. I like dystopian fantasy, like the Shatter Me series, and I like, this is kind of like Divine Rivals? Divine Rivals. It's kind of similar to that, where it like still very much feels like the real world, but there's fantasy elements. And I will say this writing is brilliant. Like every single thing in this book, surface level, like makes sense, but also has so much deeper meaning. Like literally, I feel like every sentence in this book could be picked apart for a deeper meaning or like themes or anything like that. Like it is beautiful and heartbreaking and thought-provoking. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I adore Henry. I adore Addie. My heart just breaks for her. Like, it feels very much like an abusive relationship that she's stuck in, and like the consequences are just never ending. Like, alone, she's so lonely. It's such a lonely life. The themes and messages about like the beauty in life and art and like artistic expression. There's themes about like the importance of relationships and connection in life. There's so many deep themes about time and like the passing of time and the value of time. This book is just like so thought-provoking. I don't know. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I can't like super dig into it. But wow, 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 wow. I do want to read you just one little part from the chapter that I'm on. I actually, like, this is what made me, I was like, oh, I should probably update the vlog before I finish this book. And this quote was so beautiful. It says, "There are nights when she cannot sleep, moments where she lies awake and dreams of dying. But then she wakes and sees the pink and orange dawn against the clouds, or hears the lament of a lone fiddle, the music and the melody, and remembers that there is such beauty in this world, and she does not want to miss it, any of it." Like, the appreciation of the beauty of a sunrise or a sunset, or like hearing music, feeling the sun on your skin, like those small, simple joys are what make life worth living, you know? This book is incredible. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I have probably less than 100 pages left. The chapters are super short, which is helping me fly through this a little bit quicker. I have exactly 100 pages left. That's weird. That's a weird coincidence, but I have 100 pages left. I'm probably going to finish this right now. I have some time, and then I'm going to update if I finish and my thoughts, and we'll have the final verdict if it made me cry or not. It definitely has the potential to. I care about these characters enough that it could put me in tears. We shall see where the storyline goes. I'm invested. Okay, ignore the appearance. The lighting is terrible. I just was laying in bed, like, reading this book. I finished. Oh my gosh. I didn't cry. I will say I didn't cry, but this book was amazing. Like, really amazing. I have no words. I think I mentioned earlier that I was buddy reading with two of the ladies in my Patreon that I just absolutely adore. We've formed like the best little friendship, and our little group chat is my favorite thing. And one of the girls just like gave her theory on what's happening at the end, and it is like spot on. And I'm trying so hard to keep my mouth shut because I just finished the book and she just sent her theory and it's right. So I'm like processing, and I can't comment on it because I can't tell her. Oh my gosh, like this book. I'm really torn on a rating. It's not a 5-star. I'm going to say that, unfortunately, but I think it's a 4 or a 4.5. I don't know. I feel like the effort that it took to pick up this book for me wasn't a 5-star feeling. Like it lacked the like, I can't put this book down until the very, very, very end. It almost felt like more of a chore to pick up the book at times, but I don't want that to come across like I didn't like the book. That sounds really terrible, and I don't mean for it to sound like I didn't like the book. This lighting is terrible. I look terrifying. I don't even know how to fix it. I still look kind of terrifying. That's okay. Is this a fantasy? Does this qualify as a fantasy? Can I say that I read and enjoyed a fantasy book? I'm trying so hard to be a fantasy girl. Can I claim it? Can I claim it with this one? I don't know. Either way, I put this book off for a very long time because it was intimidating, and honestly, for good reason. I think this isn't a book that I'm like, oh, it was not as intimidating as I thought. Like it was. It definitely was a heavy read. I feel like I reread this book. I feel like I read this twice because I was constantly reading and rereading to make sure I wasn't like missing things or misunderstanding things. So it definitely was like a more engaging, like intense read. It takes a lot of mental energy, but it was worth it in my opinion. I thought it was really, really great. I'm so glad I read it now, and I know like which side of the Addie LaRue argument I'm on. I get why people DNF'd it, because like the first third of the book, I can totally understand why some people were like, I didn't like that book, I DNF'd it. But once you hit that point, like once you get into the groove, you don't want to put it down. And so I feel like if you didn't get to that point, you could be an Addie LaRue hater, but I don't know. I personally am on the side of really liking this book. This video is off to a great start. 5 stars and then a 4.25 or a 4.5. We're off to a real great start. I'm torn between 2 books. I think I know what I'm going to pick next, but I don't know. I have a couple things I need to get done. Tomorrow's my daddy-o's birthday, so I have a couple of like gift related things that I have to do just around the house tonight, and I'll be hanging out with him tomorrow, spending the day with him. So probably won't have much time for reading until next week, like when we're back into the work week. So I probably won't update until then, but I do think I know where we're headed for the next book. But I'm gonna sit on it. I need a minute to process this. This is a book that you finish and you're like, I need a minute. Okay, but that is all. The lighting is atrocious. I'm going to cut this clip short and just peace out here because I look terrifying. I look absolutely terrifying no matter what the lighting is. So that, maybe it's me. Just kidding, I'm never the problem. Okay, that is all. This book was amazing. You definitely should read it. I would recommend. And shout out to my book besties. I need to go through and annotate. I read it largely on my Kindle, so I need to go through and like put my annotations in the book because I definitely want this to be an annotated book. Writing is just too beautiful. Too beautiful. Hello, besties. It's been a couple days since we last talked, and I think last time we talked I just finished Addie LaRue, and now I'm into the 3rd book. So I decided to read Bright Side by Kim Holden. I do not own this, but it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I've been reading it on my Kindle, and it is not super emotional so far, but I am really enjoying it. Like I really am invested in it. So basically we have Kate and Gus, and they have like a long-term, really close friendship, and obviously it's very evident that they have like crossed the line from friendship into an intimate relationship. They've like dipped their toe in the intimate waters, if you will. And there's like some tension there, but also they still have a really great, really healthy relationship. Kate just left to college in Minnesota, Minnesota. And Gus is pursuing music. I think he's in New York City. So they've been like Skyping and video calling and texting and chatting all the time. But it's clear that they just have like a really valuable, like lifelong friendship and relationship. So the first chunk of the book, I think I've only gotten one chapter from a different point of view, but everything I've read so far aside from that has been from Kate's point of view. And she has a lot of really interesting characters in her life. It's clear that she was raised in kind of a unstable home environment. Her relationship with her mom in particular sounds pretty complex. And there's also like there's like little tidbits without giving any information that like there's something wrong. Like she's had a clear event happen. There's even a chapter where she references like before the big thing happened and then the big thing happened, and like we don't know what this big thing is, but it almost feels like maybe there's an illness with herself. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she lost somebody. I don't know. I don't really know entirely, but there's like little references to some sort of traumatic event that has happened relatively recently, it sounds like, in her life. So that's where I could see this book taking an emotional turn, and I'm hesitant to like gauge the emotional factor because we're not really there yet. I think I'm like 20% of the way through the book and I already feel like very connected to her character, like I said, and like I'm really enjoying it. It's a kind of a quick read, and not in terms of like it being a short book or the chapters are short or like formatting in terms of an easy read, but like it's easy to just like get invested in the story. And there's a lot of different characters that are really complex and unique and diverse, and it's a fun read so far. I picked this read as a sad read. I didn't even know it was a sad book, but I posted a TikTok and I was like, guys, I need you to comment a book that's gonna rip my heart out. And aside from the last letter, I feel like the biggest one I saw was Brightside. And I don't know why. All right, sorry, I got a phone call that was urgent and I had to take care of some stuff, but I'm back. It's like an hour and a half later and I just realized I left in a hurry and didn't even finish what I was saying. But I think I was saying that I posted on TikTok and got so many comments suggesting a sad, hello, English. I posted on TikTok asking for sad book recommendations that would rip my heart out, and I got a lot of The Last Letter and I got a lot of Brightside. So even though I'm not entirely sure how this book is going to take a sad turn, all I know is that it was recommended as a sad book to me. So that's where we're at. I am actually taking off to Portland tomorrow with my sister for a book festival in Portland. So I'm so excited for that. I haven't decided if I want to vlog it yet or just like be present in the moment. I kind of want to vlog it so we can look back on it, but potentially a vlog coming for that. I'm super excited. So I don't know how much reading I will get done while I'm in Portland, but we shall see. I will update you either there or when I'm back from Portland and let you know how Brightside is going. So far, so good. Really enjoying it. I feel like my words aren't making sense. I'm a little bit rattled right now. Life is chaotic. That was just like the most chaotic hour of my life. So I need to take a breather, but I figured I would update you guys. It is also Halloween, so I'm heading to my sister's for a little Halloween party in like an hour. I need to go get ready and breathe. Yes. Sorry, everything is so chaotic. This is the most chaotic clip I think I've ever had on my channel, ever in the existence of YouTube. But that is all. I will update you when I have another update. I love you guys. Okay, I'm reading Brightside and we have an update. I'm on, my Kindle says chapter 80. The chapters aren't like actually numbered in the book, but my Kindle says chapter 80. It's Wednesday, January 18th, that chapter. And I was listening to this on my walk on Audible and I had to pause because things are getting bad. Things are getting real bad. And I want to read the ending physically. I feel like I will feel it a little bit deeper if I read it, not listen to it. So I don't know. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Things are going downhill very quickly and I don't really want to keep reading because I don't want it to happen and I think I know it's coming. I feel as though I might cry. So I'm on page, my Kindle says 419 and there is 442 on the Kindle version. And so we're getting close. I'm gonna read like the last 30 pages here and I will update you as I go along. That was sudden. Well, I finished Brightside. My heart feels broken. Wow. This one's weird because I knew it was coming. With the last letter, like I knew something was coming, but I feel like it kind of caught me off guard. This one I felt like we knew what was coming, not from the very beginning, but from like probably 50 to 70% of the way through the book. Like we knew the most likely outcome, and it doesn't necessarily make it less emotional. I don't even know. I think that losing someone earlier this year at a young age makes me even more sensitive to grief and like grief topics and the emotions of grief. Like it feels real because it was real for me, you know? And wow, this book was beautiful. And like the author's note at the end, she says like, I didn't write this book thinking anyone would read it. Like I was just an indie author writing to write, and like her writing is phenomenal and beautiful. It was also an interesting choice to have Keller as the male point of view. If you've read this book, I'm not going to say much more because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was interesting to have Keller as the point of view and not Gus. And that was clearly like a deliberate decision, but I definitely felt more connected to Gus. I don't know. Book, I don't know. I don't think it's a 5-star because I never really felt like I couldn't put it down until the very, very end. I think it's a 4.5. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5 star because if any book can make me cry or tear up like this one did, it deserves a 4-star or above, in my opinion. That obviously shows how deeply connected I was to it. I think a 4.5 for this one. Wow, this is maybe the best reading vlog I've ever done. I think it is. I had a 5-star, a 4-star, and then a 4.5 star. That's pretty dang good. I need to read something like lighthearted now, maybe a thriller or something. I feel like, wow. We're 2 for 3 on making me cry, and all of the books were above 4 stars. I would say this video was a win. This was a huge win. I thoroughly enjoyed and would recommend The Last Letter, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and Brightside. Highly recommend checking all of those out. I feel like I need a moment to process, so I think I'm going to end the video here and just go sit with my thoughts for a little bit. Yeah, you guys should read all 3 of the books in this video. They were all amazing. But I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you again to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check out the link down below to get 15% off your first pair. And while you're down there, why don't you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos? But that is all for this one, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, book besties.